This party started. All right, turn on all my equipment. It's nice that I have power pedals, and the Asiamos. They are Italian made, and the nice part about these pedals is that um, you don't have to charge. Some of the other pedal types, you have to actually pull a battery out or change it. You can't just, this one has a cord, you just stick it on the pedal and it charges it. So it's so much easier than having to do what some other power pedals do. And they are nice. They're good for inside, but Earl and I discovered that for some reason the pedals aren't the best outside because they don't flip around properly. So riding them inside is a good option. And using them for power inside is a really great option because riding with power indoors is very effective. It's a little harder when you're outside because you have the change in terrain, you have the change in conditions, wind, no wind, overheating, whatever it might be. But here in a controlled setting, it's pretty good. So if you're considering that, and they're not too expensive either, easy to install, easy to remove if you need to do that. The cleat is kind of a time-shaped, Shimano-shaped cleat. So you might need a different pair of shoes with this cleat specifically. I do find that it does say it's time compatible, but it's just a little bit different than the cleat that's comes with the pedals. So that's an option to consider. All right, so you know the drill. Water bottle, towel, fan. Get yourself in a nice easy gear. I know you've been spinning, some of you, for a little bit. Just in your small ring, in that easy gear at the top. Tonight, I called this your favorite workout because it might be your favorite workout. I'm like predetermining how you're going to rate this workout. You're going to say, oh man, this is my favorite workout. I'm going to throw a few things in the mix. Do some kind of heavy gear, not too heavy, but laddered cadence efforts. We're going to do some sitting, standing efforts. And we'll throw some other stuff in there just to keep you guessing. This one's going to be one of those workouts that's going to be constantly moving. You're not going to be bored at all. Whereas like last week, those long efforts, it was different doing an endurance effort than doing what we're going to do tonight. Just to keep us going, you will get adequate rest in between each of the efforts, just to give you time to recover so that you can do your best on the next effort. That's the way I want you to think about it, is that every effort, give it your best, and then allow yourself to recover, because that recovery time is really important. And you may do this too when you go outside if you're riding on your own. Do a couple of efforts and then allow yourself to recover for a mile or two, whatever it is, based on what kind of workout you're doing. All right, so how are we going to start this? We're going to start it. I haven't done this kind of start in a while. You might remember from the early days, a 30-second on, 30 or a minute off kind of effort, just to get us warmed up, get the legs moving a little bit more. That's how we're going to start. We're going to be in the small ring and in your 15. So if you want to go ahead and go there, you should see 3 gears under that chain. So just look back. Make sure you're seeing 3 gears under that chain. Give me 30 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Push through this. Really get the legs warmed up. Put some effort into it. So your legs actually, if they feel like crap right now, that's a good thing. We're kind of shaking out all that crap. 3, 2. Give yourself a couple of easier gears. 2 or 3. Just spin through. Try to keep that cadence between 85, 90. If you need to shift to even easier gear to hold that cadence, that's fine. We're going to go back to that 15. When I count it down, you'll go back there. And again, give me another good hard effort. If you feel yourself being kind of winded, that's just your body's reaction. Getting ready for the workout. Go ahead and find that gear. 3, 2, let's go. Make it a solid effort. Think about all the dynamics we know. Nice light feet. Little bend in those elbows. Relaxed hands. Shoulders are down. 3, 2, 1. About 3 or 4 easier gears. I always love how you start feeling the legs starting opening up. Feel a little sluggish at the beginning. And then as we go through, I start to kind of feel a little fresher. That's what you want. All right, we're going to do this for a total of 5 minutes. We're approaching 3. So we'll have 2 more efforts. And then we'll start getting into the main bulk. Shifting down. 3, 2, let's go. Really strive for a high cadence. That's going to force the legs to have to work. Think about pedaling evenly. 3, 2, 1. Few easier gears. So really listen to yourself when you're pedaling. If you can hear, if you're pushing harder on one pedal than another, it will actually make a sound like whir, whir, whir. That's the sound you don't want. You want it to be a constant, consistent sound. All the way through, from the start to the finish. As I say, consistency. All right, coming up to our last one. Find that gear. 3, 2, let's go. Listen to your pedal stroke. Does it sound fluid? Three, two, one. Easiest gear. Back up to the top. Take a drink. All right. What are we in for? All right, we're going to come up on a 5-minute effort. It's going to be 2 by 2 minutes in the same gear that you were just in, your small ring 15. We're going to do 15 seconds of standing, 15 seated. You'll do that for 2 minutes. Get a minute rest. And then you're going to do it again. So if you find along the way, standing part gets a little too hard, just skip a session, skip a section, and then come back to us when you feel comfortable with doing so. All right, so back down to your 15. First 10 is standing in your hoods. 3, 2, 1, let's go. This is 2 minutes. So gauge your effort. Sitting back down. Remember that stand up. Straight up. 3, 2, up. Hips right over those ankles. Don't bring your hips too far forward. And down. Keep your head up. And up. Look at the screen. And back down. If you want to move your hands on your deck when you get seated, that's fine. Back in the hoods, up. And down. 10 seconds is good. This is a good gear too. Up. You got to work a little bit. And down. And up. Last time up. And down. Feel the strength in your legs. 3, 2, 1. Easy gear. Take a break. Take a drink. Towel off. Keep the legs moving. You don't want to just sit there idle in between these. You want to make sure that you keep the legs moving, because if you don't, then all the blood starts to pull in your legs and they'll start to feel like lead. Pedaling is good. Coasting sometimes, even on a downhill, it's better to keep your legs moving slightly, just kind of rolling through without putting any effort. All right, we're coming up on another 2-minute effort. Find that gear, same as last time. Small ring 15. And up for 10. Another 2-minute effort, just like the last. This one will probably feel a little better. Down. You start to feel a little bit smoother here. At least I do. Up. The more my legs get warmed up, the better. And down. Stay focused. And up. Don't lose your focus. That's their special power. And down. One minute down. One more minute to go. Up. Ten seconds and down. You guys are going to be so happy with the next set. Up. And down. One more up. Here we go. Up. Speaking of here we go. Super Bowl this weekend. Down. Should have done a Super Bowl pool. 3, 2, 1. Oh man, I should have done a Super Bowl workout. Easy gear. Recover. Take a drink. You know the deal. You have to have that entire bottle consumed by the end of the workout. All right, what's coming next? Earl, you're going to call it. One-legged drills. Haha. Haven't brought those back in a while. So lots of small ring 15. We're going to do that same gear that we've been in. We're going to start with our one-legged drill on the right leg. So what you're going to do with the other leg, I'm going to click out actually with my right. I want you to take it and put it on the top of your trainer. You can put your foot, the heel or the ball of your foot on the side of the trainer. Try to avoid doing this. That's just not going to help your balance. Don't put your leg out, but keep it down if you can't put it on anything. But having it back on the trainer, you can even hook your toe over the top of the trainer, depending on what kind of trainer you have. All right, so we're going to do 30 seconds on each leg. We're going to just do this for a total of 3 minutes. So find that gear. You've been there before, twice now. You're going to click out of the left leg first, pedaling just with your right. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Now the key to this is learning how to engage your core. You want to make this, whatever cadence or pedal timing will get you to keep a nice circular motion. You don't want to hear any clicking noises. You want to try to use that upward part of the stroke and switch. So stop your pedal at the bottom, clip in, and then clip out. Make it a nice smooth transition. Remember, you have to stop your leg to make that transition. If you try to keep on pedaling, it's just going to be more difficult. You're going to find as you do this, you will notice which way leg is weaker. I almost said which way goes weaker. And switch. 30 seconds into the second minute. Your hips should stay square. Your hands should be on your deck. Don't try to reach all the way to your hoods. You're going to feel this in your hamstring. All right, switch, clip in, clip out. Should be a really quick motion to go from one to the other. This is good to practice clipping in and clipping out too. And remember, when you clip out, your goal is to clip out with your heel, clipping, turning it outward, and then allowing it to disengage. Switching, last minute, clipping in, clipping out. Here we go. You might feel yourself getting better at this as we move through it. That's what I'm expecting to have happen. And as I said, remember, I don't care how fast or how slow you're pedaling. It's all about getting that perfect circle. Clipping out, clipping in. You can pedal a couple of times and then clip out if you want. Last time on the left leg. Look down at your foot if you want. Notice what your knee is doing. If it's kind of moving out and in, then you're going to see those are your weaknesses. Or your cleat might be completely off. 3, 2, 1. Right back in. Easy gear, shifting all the way to the top. Going to give you a minute off. All right, that was a nice little interlude in between before we start our main set. So what's the main set for today? It's 2 11-minute efforts. The first one is going to go like this. Each one of these, there's 4 of them. 4 by 2 minutes with a minute in between. It's going to go big ring 13 or somewhere around there. If that gear's too heavy, you're welcome to do this in your small ring instead. We're going to start at a cadence of 50 to 55. Every 30 seconds, we're going to shift up a gear or maybe 2, increase the cadence. So by the time we get to the last 30 seconds, we'll be around our 19 and pedaling at 80 to 85. All right, so the way we're going to start, get yourself in your big ring, down to your 13 or somewhere near that, depending on how high you can get your cadence to go. We're looking for 50. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 30 seconds. 50 to 55. If you're hitting 60, then you need to get to a harder gear. This is slow. It's okay. That's what we want it to be. Keep concentrating on the upward part of this stroke. 2 easier gears, or whatever's going to hold you between 60 and 65. Keep the legs moving. Again, don't try to stomp into the pedals. Try to feel light in the pedals. 2 more easier gears. Come up to 70, 75. If you get into 80, then shift down 1 harder gear. The last 30, we're going to hit 80, 85. 2 easier gears. Hold a solid cadence. Let's go. I like this one. Keeps you engaged. Keeps you concentrating. Let you see how your cadence can change. 3, 2, 1. Small ring. Easy gear. Go ahead and take a drink. That's 1 down. 3 more like that to go. Woo! So that's the way maybe a climb might happen. Might be super steep at the bottom, and you feel it. And then as you climb, it starts to level out, and you can start to change your cadence as you go. So for the next one, hopefully you can use the same gears, or if you lighten them up a little bit, maybe you want to try a little gear harder, just to see if your legs are starting to get ready and warming up a little bit more. All right, so go again and get to that big ring. Back down to that 13. Remember, it's slow. 50 to 55. Here we go. If you feel the glutes working, then you're doing it right. Your glutes get so engaged when you climb. "30 seconds is coming up. 2 easier gears. Bring it up to 60, 65. And again, listen to yourself. What's the cadence sound like? Is it smooth? Is it choppy? Two easier gears. 70 to 75. Stick with it. Know that your next gear is going to be lighter. Last 30. 2 easier gears. 80, 85. Depending on what gear you started with, hopefully you still have gears left at the top. 3, 2, 1. Easy gear, small ring. Take a drink. Woo. 2 down. So excited. Cycling season is starting again. Tomorrow, the UAE Tour women's race starts in Dubai, which is always an interesting race to watch. It's on HBO Max, if anybody has that. Thank you, Earl. And the race will be through some of the most amazing desert and scenery you'll ever see. I think the last time they were there, they went past this building that was all mirrored. So everything around it was reflecting off the building. It was the coolest thing. All right, back to that big ring. Number 3, down to the 13. 3, 2, let's go. No standing. All seated for now. We want to just work on those muscles that help us climb. Develop them now while we're on the trainer, while we can concentrate specifically on that. 2 easier gears. 60 to 65. Move your hands around if you feel like it, from the deck to maybe the corners. You don't necessarily need to go in your drops. Two easier gears. 70 to 75. Legs always feel a little weary when you get to this one. But then that next gear shift kind of brings them back. 2 more gears. Nice and easy. 80 to 85. If you're getting over 85, then just let it happen. Settle in. Feel the spin. Three, two, one. Nice and easy. Small ring. Easy gear. Take another drink. So this is also an effort that's reminiscent of if you go up a climb and you come down the other side. As I talked about at the beginning, if you stop your legs while you descend, that blood's going to pool in those legs. If you just spin your legs without putting any effort, if the descent is fast enough to do that, then keep your legs spinning. And that's actually what we're doing in that last 30 seconds, is just keeping the legs spinning. All right, we're going to come up on the last one in this set. All right, find that big ring again. Back down to that 13. Nice low cadence. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. If you want to challenge yourself and you feel like putting it in a harder gear for each of these, you may. But try to stick with the cadences. If you go a little harder, really, if you're struggling too much to hit that initial cadence of 50-55, then shift up. 2 easier gears. 60-65. Legs are moving. You might notice too, as you do this, if you have power, a change in your power with each cadence change and gear change. 2 easier gears. 70-75. Your power layout in your Garmin, Wahoo, Strava, whatever you're looking at, will probably look like a step down. 2 more easier gears. Get that cadence. 80 plus. I'm hitting 90. Just because that's where my legs like to go. They've been trained for years. Three, 2, 1. Small ring. Easy gear. Take a drink. Woo! Nice. That was good. All right, you're going to notice the next one's kind of similar. Maybe not. We're going to do 2 5-minute efforts. Just 2. Each 30 seconds or a minute, I'm going to give you a gear. And either we're going to stand or we're going to sit. I'm going to give you a cadence. So lots of changes for this 5 minutes, which will really keep you. Each of the 2-minute efforts will look identical. So once you've done the first one, you'll know what to expect for the second. We'll get a minute in between. So our first effort is going to be 30 seconds standing in your big ring. Back down to that 13. Let's go. Find that gear. 3, 2, 1. Standing up. A little harder than the last time we stood. This effort has a little bit more resistance under your feet. So therefore, it might be a little easier for you to pedal through. When I have you sit down, you're going to pick a gear with a 70 cadence. 3, 2, 1, sitting down. 70. Right on the nose. 1 minute here. Hold it. Hold it very steady. Don't let that cadence drop. Concentrate only on the cadence. And again, listen to your pedal stroke. It should be really smooth by now. Next shift's going to take you to 75 cadence. 3, 2, let's go. Maybe one shift easier is all you need. We're going to stay 1 minute here. Actually, 2 minutes here. Settle in. Control your breathing. Allow yourself to breathe out of your mouth. You can take the air in through your nose. I can remember I think I was in middle school. I had a track coach. He used to make us run with water in our mouth. So we would learn to breathe out of our noses. And then we had to spit the water out to prove that we didn't swallow it. He was a good coach. I'm sure he probably had some Olympic quality athletes on his teams. Can't remember his name. I'm sure if my father was still alive, he would totally remember the guy. All right, one gear harder. 1 minute at 70. Woo, this is a tough one. The last 30 seconds, we're going to stand up. You're going to hit a harder gear or 2. Give me 30 seconds standing when I count it down. 30 to go. till you stand. Stick with it. Keep your mind in the game. I know you might feel like you're struggling, but that's okay. 1 or 2 gears harder. Stand it up. Last 30 seconds. The first couple pedal strokes will feel tough. Almost there. 5, 3, 2, 1. Small ring. Woo, yeah. Nice and easy. Take a drink. Give you an extra minute of recovery after that one. So you're going to get 2. Then we're going to do that effort again. If you remember what gears you were in, then go back to those same ones. If you want to challenge yourself, maybe one harder gear for each of them. And pick the bottom end. So if it's a 70 cadence, if you're hitting 69, then that's good because you're right there. The more we push our bodies just a little bit further than they want to go, that's when you start getting the improvements. So that's why sometimes, the more you ride, sometimes the better you start to feel. That's why in the summertime it's good. We get to ride more frequently. As the season goes on, we get stronger and stronger, and that's why we do centuries in September and October, because we're fit, but also because the temperatures start to be more favorable. Even though we start losing some light, it's still a good time of the year to do those longer distances. All right, let's get ready. We're going big ring. Stand in for the first 30 seconds. In your 13 or thereabouts. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Stand it up. This is your last of the main set. All the rest of this workout is a piece of cake. Stick with it. When you sit down, you're going to find 70. Sitting down, a couple of easier gears. Finding 70. 1 minute at 70. See how good you can get at holding 70 consistently. It's all about that pedal stroke. If you're pushing unevenly on the pedals, it might dance around. If you're pulling up, you might be able to hold a solid 70. One or two easier gears. Going to 75. I went too easy. I got to 80. Be honest with yourself too. Don't cheat out the effort, especially now. You know the words. This is when it counts. These last efforts. This is the longest part. 2 minutes total for this cadence. I hope you're thinking in your head, oh yeah, this is my favorite workout. One more minute here. Nice and solid. I've been able to hold the cadence dead on for the last minute. It's a good game to play. Feel yourself using those glutes. Stay concentrated on just that one metric. When I count it down, you're going to shift to one harder gear or two and get to 70 for 1 minute. 3, 2, 1. Hold the 70. Come on, 1.5 minutes left. Stay focused. Stay confident. Convince yourself that you got this. Mind is a terrible thing to waste. It does make a difference. Your mental state really does matter. If you feel defeated, then you're going to ride defeated. So give yourself all the praise it needs to make this happen. Almost there. One more harder gear. Standing up. Last 30 seconds. Get tall in your torso. Look up to the ceiling. There you go. That moves your hips back. Three, 2, 1. Good job. Small ring. Easy gear. Woo! Take a drink. Nice. Nice work. All right. Let's see what you got left. It's not going to be much. We're going to finish up with a 5-minute one-legged effort. So 30 seconds on each leg. Same gearing as before. Small ring. This is kind of a cool down in addition. 30 seconds on each leg. Small ring 15. So go ahead and find that gear. Small ring 15. We started there. We're going to end there. Right leg first. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Just click it off. You might feel a little crampy from those other efforts. This will help. If the gear's just a little too hard for you, and you'd like to have it just a touch easier, you're welcome to shift to one easier or two. Stop your foot at the bottom. Clip into the other side. Take a few pedal strokes and clip out. Now you're in your left leg. I definitely know that my left leg is weaker than the right. It even pedals a little weirder, if that's even a word. But focus on that. Try not to get this clicking sound at the bottom. Stop at the bottom, clip in, a couple pedal strokes, clip out of the left. Back to the right leg. You should start getting really good at switching from one foot to the other. Feel that little bit of scraping that mud off the bottom of the shoe. Use that pulling back motion down at the bottom. Foot clips in the left. Couple of pedal strokes. Now you're pedaling just with the left. It's smooth. It doesn't have to be choppy. It's good also to know how to clip out both ways, because if something were to happen to your pedal, you couldn't clip out, at least you have a way to bail out. I know that's happened to some people. Down at the bottom, clipping in at the top, clipping out with the left, right leg only. We're using this as a cool down in addition to a good one-legged drill. You should feel yourself, a little heart rate coming down a bit. It shouldn't be a hard effort. This is about getting technique down. Finding that down at the bottom, clipping in at the top, clipping out with your right. Left leg. We're coming up on 3 minutes in. 2 more to go. Then we'll cool down even more and finish up the workout. Ooh, I knew that one would go fast. The ones that have like non-stop efforts always seem to go fast. Stopping at the bottom, clipping in at the top, taking a pedal stroke, clipping out on the left. Right leg, 2 more times on each leg. Really concentrate on keeping those hips square. Try not to turn your hip forward for the leg that you have in the pedal. Stopping at the bottom, clipping at top, left leg. Almost there. Almost to the finish line. It's like an optical illusion when you look at me on the screen. Looks like I lost my leg. All right, stopping at the bottom. Find that pedal. Pedal a couple times. Last time on the right leg. Feel it getting smoother. It's a good cool down. Good way to just focus on your pedal stroke and nothing else. Doesn't have to be a hard effort. Last time, stopping the leg, clipping in at the top, out with the right. Last time on the left. And I gave you enough gear here that you should be able to smoothly pedal. You're not pedaling squares. You're pedaling a smooth circular motion. 3, 2, both legs in. Find the top of the cassette with your chain. Nice easy gear, small ring. Let's just spin this out. And then we will be done for the night. Woo! Get in your recovery source. Finish up your bottle. You know all the drills of what to do. Get yourself a good shower. Have some dinner. And you'll sleep like a baby tonight. I don't know if any of you guys have compression boots. If you do, it's good to get those in after a workout. Compression helps to circulate the blood, and athletes have found that utilizing a compression system, that's why triathletes still use compression socks. I'm not a big proponent of wearing them when you're racing, but they do help to bring the extra blood flow in, which helps to aid in recovery. All right, we're going to go 30 more seconds. Legs should feel light. They shouldn't feel heavy at the moment. If you feel like you need a longer cool down, you're welcome to do so. Normally, 5 to 10 minutes is a good rule of thumb. 10 is better than 5, obviously. The body needs to just recover, just like you warm up. You don't just get on your bike and go 25 miles an hour. You need to kind of warm the legs up a little bit. So it's the same thing here. We want to get the body to cool down just like we warmed it up. All right. Great workout, everybody. Good job. Good effort. Whew. Nice.